Now, in an extremely confounding year from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we had Thunderbolts. No one wanted to see that. We had Captain America Brave New World, that was basically the same thing as a Captain America TV show that they made just a couple years prior, and it took them 4 years or whatever to put the thing in theaters. And then we had the Fantastic Four, which appears to be the most confounding movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe from the standpoint that it has made no money, but gets pretty good reviews, even from people who absolutely hate what it is that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has become. We get the most confusing news that this year has to offer from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I understand that that was a terribly constructed sentence, but I was ranting a little bit. I will give you what it is that we know, and then I have some questions for Bob Iger and Kevin Feige, etc. But in an article titled Fantastic Four 2 Update Reveals Likely Director for MCU Sequel from Superhero Hype by Anthony Nash, we get the following. A new report suggests that Disney has likely already found the director for the Fantastic Four 2 and has high hopes for the sequel. Who is potentially directing the Fantastic Four 2? According to Jeff Snyder of the In Snyder, Matt Shakman, the director of the first film and MCU miniseries WandaVision, is likely to return to direct a sequel. Because when the first movie doesn't make any money, the good, better, doubles down. As for the film's box office, Snyder mentions that although the film hasn't performed incredibly, Marvel execs believe that the sequel will perform better than after the Fantastic Four has shown off more in the next two Avengers movies, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Here's what this tells me. This tells me two things. Number one, they're not paying attention to their own box office, because the more people see of the Fantastic Four, apparently, the less they like them. A 67% drop week over week for the Fantastic Four is a miserable performance. Number two, the rumors are probably correct that Pedro Pascal is the lead in Avengers Doomsday and likely in Avengers Secret Wars. Uh, Even the people who think that Pedro Pascal did a good job in Fantastic Four say that he did the best job that he could while being a bland mud in the stick in the mud, whatever it actually is. I don't care. It's very confusing that this would be the case, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, because it is just a continuation of what we have seen from Marvel for the last 6 years. 2019, you have to go all the way back to around there for the Marvel Cinematic Universe to be pretty consistently okay. Now, I don't I'm not as animated as I am because I'm an MCU fan anymore. I don't care. I've reached a level of apathy with it. Where this ire is coming from for me is the fact that I'm a Disney shareholder. I've been a Disney shareholder since Disney bought Marvel. Since Disney bought Marvel, 2008, 2009, the stock has basically gone up 2.5 times. 2.5 times in, well, we're approaching 20 years. 3 years away from 20 years. What are you doing? Make me money, Bob. Quit doing this performative garbage upon the altar of woke or whatever it is that you're pretending you are honoring. This makes me sick at this point. Snyder's report comes after Disney CEO Bob Iger also praised the Fantastic Four first step, saying the movie successfully launched. What a flaccid endorsement. Successfully launched. Well, Fantastic Four got to the theaters. Yeah. Fantastic Four sure is running through some projectors. Congratulations, Bob. Where's my money? What a turd this has turned into. What an absolute turd this has become. An important franchise, or successfully launched an important franchise into the MCU, even if it didn't make the same amount of money as a project like Avengers might. No, you don't know. You don't get away with that insinuation. It didn't make as much money as the Avengers. Oh, or Guardians of the Galaxy, or Iron Man, or Thor, or Captain America, or any number of franchises in the MCU. It didn't make as much money as basically anything. It's going to make roughly as much money as any of the bombs that they've put into theaters this summer. Is going to make on par with those movies. It will outperform the other two, but not by a wide margin, not by something embarrassing. This summer has turned into Suckfest 2025. Bombfest 2025. Anyway. In its second weekend, the Fantastic Four First Steps took a 66% drop. I think it was actually 67%, but who's counting? A surprisingly high mark for a film that is praised by both critics and audiences. Following its latest drop, it's likely that First Steps will come in under Superman, the DCU film that launched a week prior. Likely it is going to be far, far worse than Superman. Fantastic Four is going to, in my opinion, struggle to put up what Superman does by next weekend. Next weekend, Superman will probably have cleared more than we will see the Fantastic Four cleared, at least domestic, and probably worldwide. Neither of the movies are doing particularly great worldwide or outside of the United States. Set against the vibrant backdrop of the 1960s-inspired retro-futuristic world, Marvel Studios, the Fantastic Four... Oh, that's just stupid stuff there. On one level, you have to respect this move. Disney saying automatically, yeah, we're going to have a Fantastic Four sequel. I don't know if it'll be Fantastic 5 or Fantastic 8, but we're going to do the Fantastic Four sequel. On one level, you have to respect it because they believe in the project regardless of the commercial success, right? I think that if you were to look at, for example, Phase 1 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thor and Captain America kind of didn't really do what it was that the studio wanted them to do. I think that they were still profitable movies. We are realizing more and more that we've never really gotten honest numbers from Disney, from the MCU, from Kevin Feige. I think that those two movies, Thor and Captain America, were likely profitable. Surely they were profitable in the greater sense, in that they were cultural movements. Thor, less so in Phase 1, but more so later. More so around the time when the Avengers came out. And then Thor 2 killed Thor, right? But he was a character that became more popular as time went on. Captain America kind of was in a sort of homeostasis as far as popularity is concerned, as far as I can tell. Iron Man obviously was made much more popular by the movies and much more popular every time he appeared in a movie, even though people hated Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3. I think Iron Man 2 is underrated. But for what it's worth, I think Iron Man 2 was underrated. They continued those franchises after Thor and Captain America, the first movies. I would love, from an investor standpoint, to be able to point to this and say, yeah, no, he knows what he's doing. The second one's going to make more money. Third one's going to make the most money of the group. I don't think that's true. You can look at Captain Marvel for a stunning example of this, from Captain Marvel down to The Marvels. absolute catastrophe. Movie over movie returns. Absolute catastrophe for what that franchise means in the popular perspective now. On the other hand, on the other hand, from respecting their pursuit, regardless of commercial success, the audience is telling you unequivocally that they don't care for this. That left number there, grosses $208 million. That's the Fantastic Four. $320 million. That's where Superman is, despite just a single week lead in the box office. Look at the international number there. Both of these movies are understated as far as the international box office is concerned. It used to be for a while there that the international box office was outperforming the domestic box office, but the domestic box office was still the biggest single market in the world, right? Here we have both of these movies doing substantially more in the United States than they are abroad. So $170 million international for the Fantastic Four. Absolutely abominable. And international for Superman, $239 million. Not great, but certainly light years ahead of where the Fantastic Four finds itself. That leads us to nearly a $200 million disparity between these two films. 378 to 559. $80 million between these two films, and that margin is going to grow. That chasm will grow, will creep ever further apart as the next couple of weeks roll in, because the Fantastic Four is dropping precipitously, while and whereas Superman is hanging on to a pretty good portion of its audience. So you can't convince me that this is a good move for Marvel. So you have to ask, is Marvel really this destitute? Are they really this intellectually bankrupt? Do they really have no other stories that they can tell besides the Fantastic Four? Well, they killed Iron Man. The Hulk has been garbage ever since Ruffalo has been the character. And I wish I didn't have to say that, A, because I love the Hulk, B, because it sounds like being a hater, because I kind of do hate Mark Ruffalo, but I wouldn't hold that against the character of the Hulk. You killed off Captain America. Thor has been on a sort of wayward path. For whatever that's worth, I don't know where the Guardians of the Galaxy are right now. Are you this intellectually bankrupt that you're going to go ahead and greenlight Fantastic Four 2 on the heels of Fantastic Four 1 bombing? It's not the bomb that was Thunderbolts. It's not the bomb that was Captain America Brave New World. It's not doing well. Are you this bankrupt? Or have you gone so far as to make the Fantastic Four so important to everything else it is that you're doing, despite the fact that you had to create a pocket universe from which they would be deployed? You can't even originate them in your central universe. You have to create a pocket universe from which you will spring them. And now they are the important franchise. I just don't get it. If I were going to try to be charitable, what I would do is assume that what's going on here is that they are looking at the Fantastic Four universe as an alt universe, as a route to a blank slate towards the cosmic end of things, which they were supposed to do with Guardians of the Galaxy, but they never really did. We were supposed to get highfalutin sort of cosmic adventures on the James Gunn scale, and we never really got there, and I don't know why. I'm assuming it's because Kevin Feige wanted control. Speaking of Kevin Feige wanting control, we've announced Fantastic Four 2. Okay, great. They're coming with another Spider-Man movie. Okay, those have been pretty good. There are whispers that there's going to be another Thunderbolts movie. There are whispers that there's finally going to be a Hulk movie. Where's Deadpool 4? Because as far as I can tell, the only movie that you've put out for the past few years that has made any money, and certainly any substantial money, is Deadpool and Wolverine. And it's nowhere. Instead, you're announcing, I believe that this is a semi-official whisper, is basically what's going on here from the Hollywood higher-ups. You're coming forward with Fantastic Four 2, but Deadpool 4 is nowhere to be found. I don't care what you're doing. Where's my money, Bobby? That is all I have for this video. I hope to have you back for the next one.